at the heart, whatever feels genuine for you right now. As I was saying yesterday, it is a kind of a responsibility that we have as yogis to be able to move up through the chakra system. And we have this particular susceptibility in the animal body, which means driven by the animal parts of our brains, a susceptibility to getting kind of stuck in the first three chakras, where we go around and around in the cycles of samsara, of what the word means, the cycles of suffering. Good job getting here this morning. An indicator that you want to rise up through and bring the benefits of each chakra below up to the whole system. Let's come into the Ujjayi breath now and try to sense the breath moving through the flute of the body, moving through the energetic centers of the chakras. And then using the Ujjayi inhale, we'll just touch each of the chakras as another form of, as I said yesterday, biofeedback. So Ujjayi inhale, and then the sound of the chakra. You can put the hands for the first mudra. And breathe in. Lam. Second. Lam. Third. Ram. Fourth. Yum. Fifth, fifth chakra. The sixth chakra. Om. Hands to the heart. The seventh chakra is silence. In support of our transition from the third to the fourth and upwards, this very important transition spot, this morning we'll chant the Gayatri mantra. Let's begin. Om Bhargava Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhargava Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhargava Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands to your lap. To bring some awareness to the neck and shoulders this morning and to get this region of the body really more vibrantly awake, well, depending on what's happening down below. We're going to come over to a quadruped position. So please put some padding for your knees. In fact, I'm going to recommend that you put the padding so that as you come into the pose we call thread the needle, you're also going to have some padding for your head, especially if you're on the back deck like I'm doing here. And then take your 2 blocks, put them at the front of your mat so they're going to be at the ready, and come into table pose. And then let's inhale to the cat pose. Press firmly down with both arms. And exhale, start your movement from the tailbone to come into cow pose. And then inhale to cat pose again. Exhale, cow pose. Once more, inhale to cat. Exhale to the cow pose. And from where you are going to end up in the cow pose, step your right hand forward up on its block and inhale. And then exhale to cat pose. Now inhale again to the cow pose. And exhale, bring your left elbow back and down to the floor. Release the weight of your head. Breathe in along the right hemisphere of your body here. Keeping the right hand firmly pressing down on your block is going to help stabilize your shoulder. Rotate your right tricep down towards the ground or the floor. And then inhale, press up into cow pose. And exhale to cat pose. Return your spine to table pose with the right hand out in front of you. Now make the right arm firm and take the left hand under and come down to thread the needle pose. Place the back of your left hand, the back of your left wrist, the back of your left forearm, if possible, the back of your shoulder, and press down with your left arm and your right hand. And now inhale, press into your right hand for the stability to come back to cow pose. And exhale to cat pose. Place your right hand in line with your left hand. Let's roll back to kneeling and just see how things are feeling. Like what's happening now in the upper hemisphere of the torso and right to left, what's happening there. And then come forward again to table pose. Okay, we'll inhale to cat. Exhale to the cow pose, slide your pubic bone back, lengthen the front hemisphere of your body, reach the chin forward. Inhale to cat pose. You can think of the back hemisphere of the chakras too, not just of the physical body. And then exhale, glide the pubic bone back, draw the spine forward, open your heart, your throat, and your gaze. And exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cat pose. And last time, exhale to the cow pose. Stabilize with your right hand on the floor. Step your left hand forward. Inhale. And then exhale, bring your right elbow down. Keep the left hand firmly placed on your block. So you're going to rotate the left tricep down towards the ground. You can relax the weight of your head. And then let's Inhale, press up to cow pose. And exhale to the cat pose. Inhale just to table pose, and then keeping the left hand as your stabilizing hand, bring your right hand under. Come to the back of your wrist, the back of your forearm, the back of your elbow, and press the back of your right arm down against the floor while keeping your left hand also stable. Now press into your left hand and inhale, return to table pose. Place your left hand next to your right, move the spine into cat pose. And sit back to kneeling. Check and see how things are feeling. Now coming to a practice from yesterday, let me place my blanket forward. I'm just going to turn to face forward. So we are going to be putting now the top of the head on the floor. And so when you place your hands, just check and see for yourself where it's going to make sense for you to be. Right. I see that you're getting your padding set up. That's good. Of course, we could be on the marble platform at the Ganga in Rishikesh and we wouldn't have padding. So we're being spoiled. Okay, so here's your inhale while you're upright. And then exhale. Inhale, roll your hips to your heels. Rise up to your seat, one vertebrae at a time, one chakra at a time. Exhale, fold the lower belly to your thighs, mid belly, upper belly. Place your hands, roll to the crown of your skull. Inhale, roll back, hips to heels. Come upright. Exhale, roll forward, and the low belly is first, mid belly, upper belly, the top of the head. Again, please. One more time. Now let's clasp the hand at the small of the back and we'll try this variation. So squeeze the shoulders back, squeeze your arms back. Bring the chin down towards the throat. With the Ujjayi inhale, begin at the base of the spine and rise upwards so that at the top of your inhale, you're going to open the chest, your throat, your heart, your eyes. And then exhale, lower belly, mid belly, chest, come to the crown of your skull. And inhale to roll back up, making the full undulation of the spine so you come up into the back bend position. And then exhale forward. And of course, you have to time this with your breath cycle. Last one, exhale, coming forward. And then inhale, rising up. Exhale, release your hands to your lap. Please take a seat for a few moments of formal pranayama. So you can use a blanket to sit in your preferred meditation or pranayama position. And let's see how things are feeling, just having had that kind of sequence through the torso. Place your hands out over your knees. We're going to come to kappalabhati, and then we'll be exploring again how the box breathing can be a help to us in moving into physical asana practice, where we're really looking at the refinement of the breath through the whole practice. So kappalabhati here. Exhale completely. Inhale slowly up to suspension. In your own timing, exhale completely. Tone the belly at the end of the exhale, and then deeply, deeply relax the belly. Bring the right hand up. We're going to go left, right, left, right. And we will do as we were doing a couple weeks ago, where you do 10 on the left, 10 on the right, 9, 9, 8, 8, back and forth like that. Inhale. Inhale both nostrils up to suspension. Close the right nostril. Exhale left side. Inhale left to suspension. Exhale right side. Inhale right side. Exhale left side. Now come to the box breathing really slowly, just when your body feels ready to. So box breathing, you don't need your longest, most extravagant inhale ever, but I would like you to have that you can pace inhale, inhale, pause, exhale, exhale, pause. Each of them are equal. Choose the length that you can do with consistency. You can complete with your next exhale and exhale, pause, and then relax into the echo of the practice. But the box breathing is something they also call military breathing because they use it to train in the military. It has a certain effect with the quality of the mind. Let's bring that mind quality now into Surya Namaskar. And we're going to practice again, trying to have the same quantity of your breath, that which is suited to you, but a little slower. So it's like it takes longer for that same quantity to move through you for both inhale and exhale. So please rise up to standing. And step to the front of your mat, facing to the east if you have that opportunity. I know you can't see all of me entirely because how close the computer is to me. And I don't have further to go on the deck. Throwing your hands at your heart, please. Come directly into that really subtle ujjayi. You are not beginners in your practice, so you can do this subtle form of the ujjayi breath and sense the duration of the breath moving. See arms going up. Extending. Coming forward. Left foot back. Left knee down. Rising. Descending. Taking both legs back to straight from bent. And bowing over your right leg. Let's inhale, glide forward to the base of your lunge pose. Exhale, float the arms wide so you're hovering. Inhale, rise up, crescent. And exhale, descend slowly at the pace that's your breath cycle. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale to the structure of your seal pose. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, table. And then inhale, plank pose. And we'll exhale backwards to downward dog pose and step the left foot forward. And inhale, rise, anjaneyasana. Exhale, descend. Inhale, both legs back, parsvottanasana, back from bent to straight. And then exhale to bow over your left leg. Inhale, bend your left knee, coming into the basic lunge position. Exhale, hover the arms. Inhale to rise up. And exhale, glide forward and down. Inhale, step forward, cartwheel. And exhale for a deep bow to the legs, maintaining the pace and the silkiness of the breath. Inhale, rise up. Urdhva-hastasana. And exhale, hands to your heart. Continuing, and we're going to integrate yesterday's sun salutation now. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Give a little extra special attention to opening your throat. Exhale, left toes back and left knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, open your arms to the Y shape. Bring the triceps forward as you inhale into your back bend. And then exhale, come up to vertical for a moment with the torso and the arms. Interlace your fingers at the small of your back, and for this inhale, reach again into your back bend. And then exhale, and glide your fingertips down to the blocks. So your right knee comes over your toes. Inhale, open the throat. And then exhale, move both legs back from bent to straight. Of course, respect your hamstrings. Exhale, bow over your right leg. And now let's inhale, just bend the right leg to the base of the lunge pose. And exhale, pick up your right foot, step back to plank. Inhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's do the second side of the sequence. Step your left foot forward, bring your right knee down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale to the Y shape with your arms. Bend the triceps forward as you inhale into your back bend. Exhale, use the low belly to bring your torso up to vertical. Interlace your fingers and enjoy this inhale back bend. And then exhale and glide your fingertips down to the blocks. You don't have to look for them. And inhale, open the throat. And let's exhale and step backwards to the plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, seal pose. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And exhale, step forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, hands to your Please step your left foot back onto your blanket. And when you do this, make sure that your left knee and your right foot, that you are hip distance left to right. And you can check that by straightening the left leg. And when you turn the back heel down to the floor, if you look at your back heel and your front heel, they should be pretty well lined up. So if you start with the left knee on the blanket right behind your right heel, you're going to end up like if I were to do this, when I step back, my left foot is now well behind my right heel on this mat. So check and see where you're beginning, please. Come up to your anjaneyasana. Take both hands and press down against your front knee. And when you press down, sweep the low belly in and up. So the hips are still coming. There is a forward angle to the pelvis, but lift the low belly like up off of your right thigh. The pressure of your hands down against your right knee is to help make the inner belly more toned, inward and upward. And then as you exhale, release your hands and glide them down to your blocks. Let's see if we can again open the throat. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's look down. Place your fingers on the blocks, straighten your left leg, and bring your right shin just to vertical. And now make a commitment that your right shin, right outer thigh, and hip are going to be stable. So when you pivot your left heel to the floor, you're not doing that by wiggling the right leg around. And in that pivot, look back and check that your left heel is lined up with your right heel. Let the torso hover over your right leg. Reach back to interlace your fingers. And you can bow the torso down to the inside of the right thigh. And keep the right outer hip stable. And your back heel and your upper inner left thigh also stable. And then you can release your hands to go on the inside between your right foot and your left block. And I just moved my left block over to the left. Let's pivot the left heel up like it's in the base lunge again. And walk your hands forward. And then please bring the left knee down really thoughtfully to the blankets. And raise your chest and your heart, open your throat. In whatever way you're able to make that, the whole spine is moving. not just the head spine at the top. And then we're going to walk backwards and resume placing your left block where you need it. Place your hands on your blocks and step into plank pose. Now you might notice some warmth going down your right leg. That's called circulation. Okay, raise your hips high and then step your left foot forward. And check that you're lining up your right knee, left foot, so that they would be hip width apart from left to right. Let the hips come forward. Place your hands on your front knee and press down to lift the low belly in and up. Remind yourself again that we're trying to have that upward ascent, that this is an upward journey. It's a developmental journey through the chakras. So we want to rely on the strength of each imperative at the chakra system. And remember that the imperative at the third isn't for going horizontal, but continuing that kind of vertical ascent. So root down with your left heel and try to sense that you're lifting the left low belly up off of the left thigh. And then glide your fingertips to your blocks. They're right there where you left them. Pick up your right knee. Bring your fingertips to the blocks for stability. Pivot your right heel behind you so that your heel is lined up front to back, left to right. And then tone the left outer hip, left outer shin, outer heel. And reach back to interlace your fingers. So the torso is going to come down inside of your left thigh. And start to lower your fingertips. We're going to go to the inside of the left foot and the right block. And I'm going to move my right block to the right for that purpose. You can bring the palms down or the fingertips down and curl your torso down inside your left leg. And do keep the left leg so that your heel, your shin, your thigh, your hip, they are stable. And pivot the right heel up and walk forward. And begin to glide the whole pose forward. So your right knee is going to come back to the blanket. Lift your chest and your heart. And then walk back to your blocks. You can place the right one back on the mat. And please step again to the plank pose. And you may notice that there's this warmth going down your left leg. Remember that I sometimes call that the garbage disposal of the mind. Reach back to downward dog pose. We do want what's called the rubbish of the mind, or the thoughts or the emotions or the food that we eat. We want that to get digested at the third chakra and sent downstream, second chakra, first chakra, moving from what's called samanavayu to apanavayu. And so please come forward, touch your knees to the blankets, and sit back to Vajrasana with your knees up on the blankets. Your hips will be lower. So the first chakra, second chakra, their knees and lower. And if it's comfortable to do so, come over from here into child's pose. Bring one block for your head. Let the elbows come down in front of the blankets. And then with your two blankets, your two blocks, please come up to kneeling and reach for your folding chair or whatever chair you're using that doesn't fall over when you use it. You could make these blankets so that if they got lumpy or wrinkled or whatever you need to do to smooth that out. Okay. A couple things going on here. First, we're going to sit on the blankets and we're going to be using there. And if for any one of you, you feel like, oh my gosh, that chair is very firm, it's like a metal chair, and you feel like you need padding, of course, put padding on your chair. Otherwise, take a seat. This is the grapevine right here. Oh, good morning. So take a seat. You can do that cross-legged. Reach back and clasp your hands. Raise them up over the chair seat. Lift up through your heart. Now, of course, for some of us sitting like this, the chair feels like it's way too high. That would be like the length of your torso or the flexibility of your shoulders, in which case sit up higher on whatever you're sitting up on. So add your blocks to your blankets if you need to. If the shoulders are set back and the collarbones are rolling up, and if it feels comfortable for your neck, you can raise your chin. Bring your head to neutral, look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Come around to face forward and slide your hands off of the chair. All of our thoughts influence our bodies, so that mind-body connection thing that you hear rumors about is real. And so some of the tension or stress you might be feeling in the neck and shoulders, it's not driven by your neck and shoulders trying to be unkind to you. It's related to thoughts and thought habits. So please come onto your back with your blocks within reach so that you have your shoulders at the edge of your blanket. And your feet go up on the chair. I got myself in there a little bit snug. Okay, so the blocks are at the ready. Please don't get your hair stuck under your shoulders. Put your blocks under the back of your butt. The shoulders go right at the edge of the blankets. I have to use my feet to move my chair back. There we go. Okay, so when you get the shoulders set here at the edge of the blankets and your hips are on the blocks, you're basically starting elevated to go up to bridge pose. Hold the legs of the chair, please. Press your feet down to stabilize the chair. Raise your hips up just part way, and then tuck each shoulder under. Step your feet to the place they're going to be most supportive for you. Roll the shoulders down, bring your chin in towards your throat, and raise your hips up. Squeeze the shoulders under, so it'll feel like your shoulder blades are supporting your heart. You take notice of what's happening in the region just above the pubic bone, below the belly button. Since we're upside down, we could say just above the belly button and below the pubic bone. My hope is that there's a sense for you of a hollowing, a feeling that the breath can reach there, because some of the pressure in the lower abdomen is changed when you're upside down. The organs shift a bit of position inside the torso. Now, as you exhale, begin to lower your hips down. Your 2 blocks are still there. And take the arms just overhead so that your shoulders are going to fall off the back of the blankets. With the 2 blocks there, if it's comfortable to do so, you can drop your knees towards your chest. Okay, we're going to lift the hips to scoot back on the blankets. Without demolishing your blanket stack, just come to the bottom of the shoulder blades. And then walk down with your hips until you're on the sacrum. And you can remove the 2 blocks from under the pelvis there. And again, using some foot dexterity, bring the chair in to support your legs. Now let's take 1 block on the medium setting behind the head, and the other block, wherever you need to have it, to reach overhead and apply a little pressure on the crown of the skull. Press your head into your blocks. Draw your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Notice if it's possible to enjoy a deep breath in the lower abdomen. As you press with the crown of the skull, now keep that lengthening of your neck and start to release your fingers. Let the blocks separate from the head and bring the arms down to where you'd like them to be for your Shavasana. When you arrive in your Shavasana, let your mind and your body both get deeply still. And by your mind, I mean the wandering mind. Let that one get very still. Invite your witnessing mind to stay present. You're kind of seeing yourself, seeing yourself. And rest in the possibility that your connection to your wise mind becomes more consistent, more deeply established. You can rest in your witness mind, if possible, in your wise mind. Allow the wandering mind to be very still. And if wandering mind is wandering, maybe you're less bothered by it. Over the next few moments, let your shavasana physically deepen while your awareness becomes lighter, a little bit brighter. And then enjoy a slightly deeper breath in, just welcoming that to come into the low abdomen. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And please bring your knees to your chest as you transition down to your side and return to your seat. I'm going to ask us to practice Brahmari. We'll do 6 breath cycles, and as much as you're able to try to sense that you're actually moving the sound of the Brahmari inside the mouth. First chakra, it's going to feel like the sound is in the back and the lower part of the throat. And as you get up to the 6th chakra, you're going to feel like the sound is in the upper palate. Please place your fingers and your thumbs. The inhale is an ujjayi breath this morning. Let's begin. And rest your hands back in your lap. Notice what happens to your senses after the Brahmari. And please raise your hands to your heart.